and really criticized it analytically? Or are we always too hungry and ready to just dive in? Well, today I'm meeting with a lady who never just dives into the eating pool without testing the waters first. Meet Uju, a very young and ambitious and knowledgeable food critic. And we're picking her brain today on Food Journey in Lagos at popular Konihor restaurant. Uju, welcome to Food Journey.
Thanks, Sonia. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here as well, especially since this is the first time that I'm going to be able to speak face to face with a food critic.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think the first thing, Uju, everybody wants to know is, what is a food critic? Tell us.
So a food critic can also be called a food writer and can also be called a restaurant critic. So basically a food critic goes to a restaurant, pays attention to the details, the service, the ambience, the food, and of course, everything, and then writes it down in a comprehensive way for somebody else to be able to read and also be able to picture what you're saying through how you publish it. And then this is useful for when they want to also visit restaurants as a reference.
That's very interesting, because here in Nigeria, everybody has an opinion about everything. And we all want our opinions to be the opinion that sort of stands at the end of any debate. So why do you think that you particularly have more of an eye for this type of thing than everyone else?
I think growing up in a family where your parents like to explore restaurants, go out, eat, I sort of became very curious about eating out and food and all of that. So when I decided to start, it was like a new thing. So after a few months of writing, I realized that, okay, there was one person, and then I decided last year that, okay, you know what, I'm going to put my stuff on Instagram from January, and I grew from like 800 followers to 6K in December. There are like a couple of us who are really gaining grounds and doing it like with so much passion. And so I think it's going to still grow more. And then obviously we're still trying to, even like the little of us who are taking it up are also trying to make sure that we establish that acceptance around that this is coming to stay and this is going to be here for a long time.
Very good. Now, food critics are feared. And do you think, actually they're mythically feared, as, oh my gosh, the make and break of any restaurant?
Food critics helps to create the balance where they know that somebody is going to tell people, somebody's going to talk about it, and then people are going to have the opportunity to air their views right there. So I think they're supposed to be feared. If not, fear creates a standard sometimes. It lets people know that there's an authority. It's just like the way you won't cross the traffic light because you know there's an authority.
Wow, all right. Now, when you're going to a restaurant, are you choosing that restaurant yourself? Or are people asking you, please come and do a critique for us for our own knowledge and for us to maybe raise our standard where we need to? Or are you putting out information there without people even sort of knowing that the restaurant's being critiqued?
Well, when you want to go, there's sometimes when you get invited because the restaurant wants to know where they're lacking, what they're doing that is right, what is wrong. While there are many times when you just walk in because, okay, maybe what's this new place? Why is the attention here? What is going on here? You really just want to, because people are going to have to refer to something when they want to make decisions, and that's where we come in. So it's sometimes you get invited, sometimes you go based on your own instincts or however you want to.
Interesting. When you walk into a restaurant, what's the first thing that your senses are doing? Are you sort of walking in and sort of wiping the table to see if there's any dirt on it? What are you doing? What's the first thing you feel that is important when you walk into a restaurant, from a critique's point of view?
When I walk in, I'm looking at the way everybody's like behaving. How are they moving? How are the waiters paying attention? Are they there? Is somebody at the door? Is everybody just on their own? Is somebody coming to say, oh, can I find you a seat? Can I, I'm just looking at those small details of attention, like they're paying attention to the fact that somebody just walked in. So that person is just as important as the person who has been there for a long time. Those small details.
Good, I get that, because I've been to restaurants and I've actually made decisions about a restaurant based on the first few seconds when I walk in.
Yeah.
What do I see? What do I smell? How does the atmosphere feel? Am I hot? Am I cold?
Yes.
Did somebody attend to me? I remember sitting down for about 30 minutes in a place which I shall not name and leaving simply because I wasn't attended to for about 30 minutes. I was shocked. You know, just sort of walking by, you know.
Yeah.
So these are sort of things that you take upon yourself to look at as well. So it's the food experience, basically, you're saying, is all encompassing.
Yes.
So you walk into a restaurant. Is there like the element of surprise? Okay, they know you're coming, but they may not know when you're coming. So you don't have food critic written on your head. You're walking in there like a normal customer, you're sitting down, but maybe you're carrying a notebook or something. Do you sit down and you write notes about what you're eating? You're ordering multiple plates of food, so they're gonna think there's something up.
In this day and age where you have notes on your phone, I use a note on my phone and then I'm just typing like while I eat, and then I order so many things. And most times I like to go with a friend, so it doesn't look like, oh, she's just here alone with 10 plates of food and stuff like that. So I think you're not supposed to announce, you're supposed to actually come in like a normal customer, because you are writing for the normal customer who's going to walk in any other day. So if they treat you specially, what about the other people? Then where is the honesty?
When you look at a plate, how do you fault it? What are you looking for that may say there's something wrong here? And can you tell right away before you taste it?
Well, first of all, you're just looking at the appearance of, because from the appearance of food, you can tell if it's together or not just before you taste.
What's the worst plate of food that you've ever had? I'm not asking you to tell me where you had it, but what was it that made it structurally or taste-wise awful? Got to think about that one.
I have to think about that one. Okay, so I had, I'm sure my followers will know this, so I had Hawaiian pizza. And Hawaiian pizza apparently is like, oh, Italians don't like it because it's like you trying to alter their, you know, their traditional, authentic recipe, which is like the, cuisine, which is, you know, the pizza, and then you're adding
pineapple and stuff like that.
And then you have to add like the puree. There's like the puree that you put like in between. And then this restaurant just had like a very bland pizza that just, I think it was only cheese they had available, but then they had some flour, and then they just put like chunks of unripe pineapple. And I was like, do these people know that just like me or any other customer, I'm about to pay 7,000 naira for this, and you just thought it was okay to deliver anything you had in your kitchen, you know, put it together and just, you know, let them take it, since, you know, we have flour and we have, you know, cheese, and then, yeah.
All right. Horrible. So you had a horrible pizza, and you obviously wrote a horrible review.
Yes, they blocked me right after.
See, that's the question I was going to ask you. When you write these reviews and people don't like them, I mean, you're creating enemies for yourself, aren't you? They're like, oh no, here she comes again. How do you deal with stuff like that?
Critics aren't the enemies. Many times, yeah, we're not the enemies. We want to see restaurants do well. We want to see them grow. So many times you call the attention of the manager, or sometimes you send a message to one and be like, you know what, I want to tell you, okay, this is not good, this is not good. But then there are restaurants you get to, and you know that nobody's about to listen to you. You probably told somebody, but then maybe there's no proper channel, and then you have to write your reviews. Maybe not one plate, maybe 2 plates, maybe 3 were just like not good. But these days, I always try to make sure that I try to offer like an after, you know, consultation. It depends on how I see the restaurant. Like if it's a new restaurant and I see that they aren't getting it right, I'm just going to tell them, you know what, this, and then I'll come back for a redo to see if those things were improved upon.
What you're really saying to me is that you don't only have to be criticizing, but you could also be part of the solution. But that's not typically what a food critic does. They don't offer you solutions. You have to go and contract somebody else to do that. But I love the fact that you're the person who actually saw the fault, and you also feel you're the person who knows the remedy as well. So that's an evolution of your career, really.
Yeah.
Food critic stroke consultant.
Yeah, so in actual sense, in the daytime 9 to 5, I am a business development exec and a marketing strategist. So I always can, you know, I always see the problems before, you know, even I get there. So it's just, you're not, I'm not a carrier of bad news, and I'm not just trying to make sure that, you know, somebody puts in an investment and it goes down. I could also give them that solution. And it gives me so much joy to see that, okay, it was implemented. Because there was a restaurant I went to not long ago, and I told them, okay, you know what, this, I saw this. And the next time that, you know, I made some people go there, I saw that everything I told them about, and they were taking notes, they all implemented them in the next visit. And I was really impressed, you know. That's something you want to see, because there's no way somebody puts, except the person is just a bad person, there's no way, or they're hiding money behind, there's no way somebody puts up a structure in order just to fail or, you know, not to do well.
So at the end of the day, what you're saying is you love to go and find out that people are putting passion into their restaurant and not just opening a place because they want to just make money. Are you seeing a lot more places like that now in Lagos, and less places that are just opening because they feel it's a money pool and nothing else?
Yes, I'm seeing more places like that. You know, most of the places that were those type of places that they just really want to make money, most of them shut down within a year, 2 years, and all of that. But these days, restaurant owners, even if they open for money, they're becoming more passionate, because they know that people are now more critical of how they're being treated and how their money is being spent. So, yes.
If I was asked for my pick for the best and scariest critique, I think it would be from the Michelin team of experts in charge of awarding the prestigious Michelin star, the highest restaurant award to be had. Some people will only ever wish they'd won one, but some have received multiple. A Michelin plate is basically a perfect plate, from head to toe. The first African chef to have won the Michelin star was South African Jan Hendrik van der Westhuizen in 2016. Today at Konihor, I'm putting my guest to the task indeed on some of their signature recipes. And I am going to ask you to show me how to critique some tasting plates that are going to be served to us here at the restaurant. Are you excited to do that?
I'm so excited to do that.
And I didn't eat breakfast, so my stomach is ready. Oh, but wait, you actually said that it's good to have a little bit of a bite before you go into try. Tell us why.
So this is like my personal principle. I don't know if every other person does that. But before I go to any restaurant, I always try to grab a bite. I grab some like small rice, or maybe just a snack, just to make sure that when I'm critiquing, I'm not just eating because, oh, I'm hungry, you know, so I don't have time to savor the food that I'm eating. So I eat something before I come, so that way I can, you know, take my time and appreciate what I'm eating, you know, taste critically and think, you know, more openly. So your mood doesn't affect the, you know, your opinion.
That's really funny, because we all know a hungry man is an angry man. Sitting down waiting for our delicious tasting plate. I'm anticipating that Kohinoor restaurant has very generously offered us, and I have still a few more questions to ask Uju. Ah, Chef Chris, here you are. And here comes the first plates, brought to us by Chef Chris. Wow. Have a look at that. Let's just slide this over so you can get a good look. Beautiful. Wow. Fantastic. Oh, look at her. Here she goes. She's doing her thing. Let me just kind of copy what you're doing. I see you doing a bit of a look around. So teach me. Am I supposed to just like...
No.
No. Okay.
So first of all, you're paying attention to plating. You're checking the...
I'm paying attention to the plating.
Yes.
Right? So what are we looking at? The bowl?
Yes, so bowl, but you're then also looking at what is the elements as well. There's carrots,
basil on the top,
tomatoes, yes.
So aren't you supposed to like sort of do one of these, kind of like, you know, have a little look through? That's what I kind of see food critics doing. Okay, show us.
Most times they do it because most times they also want to make the person watching the videos to salivate.
Okay, so you're digging in right away?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll let you go and then you tell me. Dun dun dun.
So Sonia, there's some flavors you can't get off the first bite. So you also have to, like, once you take the first bite, you have to pay attention to balance. You pay attention to salt, acid, you know, like every single thing, how it plays together. Obviously, how it like feels when you first taste, and then what like ingredients make it what it is. So then you're paying attention not because you want to decipher it or you're just like being a scientist and want to know everything. It's more like how they come to play together, and if there are any distinct like additions and flavors that make the dish more than what it should be or less than what it should be.
Now you're talking to me. I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna use that intuition and just try it myself. I love the way it looks, by the way, first of all. You can clearly see that this is a beautiful plate.
Of course.
So, the
So
verdict?
the chicken and everything inside is very tender. The quinoa too is like well done and well cooked.
Okay.
So the vegetables are also very fresh as well. So once you chew, you still taste that crunchiness in vegetables. So they're cooked, but they're not like they're not overly cooked.
So what would you give it out of 10? What would you give it?
Obviously, I won't give it a 10
Okay.
because
Why you're not allowed to give places 10s?
not that, because there's always room for more. You know, you think
Okay.
you think you've seen it until you see it again, and
Right.
then you're like, okay.
So score
So I'll score this a 7.
a 7.
Yes.
Next up, some excellent and superbly dramatic seafood okra, and our ever debatable jollof and asun. Woo! My goodness, look at this drama. This is drama. Look at that. So you see, it's really, really, really interesting when you get to try new stuff, isn't it?
This is attention to detail and it's very beautiful. I like the way everything is thought through. The bowl, the holder, the candle. You could tell that these things have been put. Yeah, somebody thought about it.
We like it.
This is perfect.
Perfect. And I
It's
like
perfect.
the portion size.
Yes.
It's massive,
The sauce taste is very home cooked.
right?
Yes, it almost feels like it was made at home.
At
Very-
home. So
yes.
when you say home cooked, that means that there's love in it.
Yes.
I'm liking this food critiquing stuff. But tell me that when you're doing this, can you ever go out just and relax and enjoy a meal, or every time you go somewhere to eat or with your friends, are you completely annoying?
Well, the
sit
thing
down
is,
and-
with choosing places that you and your friends want to go, it's important to choose a place that you trust the menu. And you've probably been to before, because before you know it, you get lost and then you start being a critic when you're supposed to be enjoying yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can, honestly, many times you forget yourself and then you pay attention. Like I
People
had
are like, you're not at work.
I'll tell you that this is Igbo jollof rice.
Oh, really? So
Igbo jollof rice has high hint of crayfish. Yes, so very high. I can taste the basil leaves are inside. I think I can taste some curry leaves.
Okay.
Yeah, and scent like it tastes more like the leaves were used rather than just spices. Yeah, so this is what we would call Igbo jollof rice.
Wow. Well, Uju, you have certainly given me an education here on how to be a food critic. I'm not going to say I'm a professional at it, but you certainly are. And thank you so much for that. Thank you, Connie Hoare, for lovely, 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 lovely food.
Yeah.
We have one more stop to make. we are going to go and have some takeout. Some
Yes.
takeout, barbecue takeout. It's going to be great. We're going over to Chef Toby's The Grill by Grace Pearl, and we're going to try that. Now, this time, you've got to let me be the total food critic, because now
Okay.
you've taught me what
All
to
right.
do. Not only will you be scoring the food, you'll be scoring me.
Okay.
So we're off to The Grill by Grace Pearl now in Lekki, where Chef Toby, we know him, whips up amazing grills. So are you ready to try something that's a little bit different from what we've had? That was very high end.
Yeah.
This is more sort of our more street culture
Yeah,
kind of
culture.
grills and things like that.
Yes, I'm so excited to try the food, and I want to see what he brings to the table.
Yes, I'm excited. In fact, I think I see him in the distance there, Toby.
Hello.
Hi.
Hiya.
Hiya. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Fantastic. What have you got for us here, Chef? Shall I help?
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's open it up. So this looks exciting. And how shall we try this, teacher?
No, I've thought all through the day, so I'm going to leave it to you this time too. Yeah.
My turn to be a critic, huh? Okay, let's have a look. First of all, what did Uju do? She was like, seriously looking, I'm looking. I love the charredness on that chicken, it's promising. And this sweet corn in here and the sauce looks amazing. A little cute salad. Okay, let's have a go. Now with chicken, I believe I'm going to have to use my hand, and I'm going to go for the drumstick. Examining the drumstick, it's not greasy. It looks like it has the perfect char on it. Let's taste.
And this is I'm going to dig in. I will just take it out.
Well, I don't know how else to critique this one that is good though. Delicious. That lovely barbecue charred taste you love. I can't fault it. It's not salty.
Yeah.
Lovely. Let me try this. Don't worry, I'm gonna let you say something after. This is my test. That. Whoa. The flavor just keeps on coming and coming and coming and coming.
That.
Isn't that excellent? The corn taste in there. Okay. The salad. Let's go. Well, with something tasting that good, I'm sure this just isn't going to be another salad.
No,
Let's
I don't
see.
think so. Or maybe. Who knows?
It's fresh. And you know what else I love about it? It's cold. Uju, this has been absolutely fantastic.
It's been amazing. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Have you had fun?
Yes, I have. It's been amazing sharing my journey and sharing my full experience. You know, sometimes something you keep to yourself, but letting people know is really amazing. And it's,
I'm certainly glad you didn't keep it to yourself on this show. We've
Yeah.
learned a lot. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm going to have a different perspective now when I go into a restaurant. There'll be a
course.
little food critic on my shoulder, and her name is Uju. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.